Nigga fan 007. What up? You good? I'm alive, I'm breathing. Drop this shit. What up, nigga? Drop this shit. What up, nigga? Fucking head, man. Drop this shit. What up?
Yo, I'm back with the guest. We got General Steele. Announce yourself,
Yo, peace, salute to everybody out there listening, man. Angry Fans Radio. Be General Steele, transmitting from Bucktown, USA. You already know. What's good, my G?
Shout out, homie, man. Number one, this is an honor right here. I rock with Duck Down, the whole Duck Down movement, boot camp, quick, everybody. Matter of fact, hold up. I actually started this shit off totally wrong. I want to say my condolences. Rest in peace to Sean Price before anything.
Dig it. I appreciate that, man. On that note, while we on Angry Fans Radio, it's only right that we give a strong salute to the homie Pumpkinhead and Jay Arch Pumpkinhead. Team Homie salute. You know what I mean? Being a pioneer at a battle rap circuit. So. Yeah, man. We out here, keeping the torch alive for these brothers, man. Brothers, sisters out here doing it.
Hey, Still, let me ask you this right here. All right, what was battle rap like when you was coming up?
Man, for me, it was it wasn't that much different than what it is now. For guys like me, it was more so just trying to get into a position, and letting people know that you're able to I guess rock in those slots, because we just wanted to be on the scene. And I wouldn't coin myself as a battle rap artist, but I had battles. Like I had battles that I couldn't avoid, like me and Rockman's Monster, Helter Skelter. Like he's a beast. Like he loves that battle stuff. You know what I mean? He's into that. Like he's ready. So coming up, as young bulls coming up, we had to really let people know. Like we from Cephalo Projects, and you had cats and like that was a little bit older than us. They had records out, and we had to let them know that we was we had some work, and you had dudes in our actual neighborhood. It was like, yo, man, these little cats see nothing. So that was it was it was right on set. It was no like how it is now where it's really broadcasted. It's like, man, when somebody run up on you, you just have to be ready to go.
That got to be crazy, right? You never know when you're gonna run into a battle.
No, man. I had a dude in my building, right? He was, probably like 2 years older than me, but he in his mind, he was the nicest, man. And I was never like this guy who was like, I'm gonna just destroy dudes when I come up. Like I just had to have bars, So that part, like it wasn't a dissing thing. Like I would just have like 4 verses. If I had more verses than you, then I'd probably beat you. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't going in on personals and nothing like that. But if you thought I was a little dude and you was like, this little dude, this little light skinned kid, what are you doing? And if I have 2 and 3, and when I hit you with 6, you're like, oh, it's just like you just start gaining your stripes through your consistency, and cats start taking it a little bit more seriously.
Yeah, I know one thing. That got to be crazy, because smoking all that weed and shit, and you still got 6, 7, 8 verses. That got to be, you got to be mentally ready for that.
Now, when you first starting out, that's all you got. So all you got to do is remember a couple of bars, a couple of verses, man. And then when you're running around with dudes like Rockman's Monster and dudes like Tech and Buckshot and Rough, it's hard to kind of snooze. These dudes is checking up on you, and they constantly got their thing, and you want to make sure you can keep up with that. So that was also a thing. Like we grew up together, so it wasn't a lack of time where we wasn't training each other.
Okay.
And it's difficult out here. Like we grew up in Brownsville, so all the rap stuff aside, you still had to be like a guy who was willing to go to battle when need be. So we took that to the rap.
Man, y'all Y'all from the D-Step era, like, Jesus.
Yeah,
I remember niggas getting they jam sports getting beat upside their head with hammers, man. Remember, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All hell. Big up to my D-Step family, man. Hell Megatron. Yeah, that's the family, man. That's another part of it too. Like those guys, you know, I that's my alma mater right there. You know, I learned manhood really, you know, dealing with those guys, and so that's a beautiful group of brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? And they'll take you through it. They'll take you through that's the original boot camp, really. You know.
Wow. Like, man, yo. Myself personally, I think y'all was always crazy underrated, D. Whatever props y'all get, you should get 10 times more, in my opinion, man.
Yeah, good thanks, bro. I appreciate that, but I also think that coming from where we come from, like, and you know, just tying that to the question that you asked earlier, as far as like the battle circuit for us earlier, it's like we was carving, not only carving a name, but just like gaining our position as far as respect. Like respect who we are. Like don't just look at me as this rap guy who can get busy. You know what I mean? So it's like we never really was trying to be superstars in the rap circuit. You just wanted to make sure that you wasn't going to underestimate us and deny us our just due. You know, so it's like, you know, we dudes like that, I guess we you know, you have people that come in the game and just be like, yo, man, I'm going to be the superstar, I'm the best, I'm the this. It's like, man, it's like, it's so many best, like, there's so many dope artists out here. Mm-hmm. You know, that's why watching these guys battle and go toe-to-toe, head-to-head like they do, it's like, it's insane, man, because these guys continue to come with ferocious lines. You know, it's like, you know, it takes it to another plateau of just really defining yourself and defining who you are through lyrics. You know?
But you know what? It's hard now though because they're trying to not be commercial. Like I see now, money just messes up everything.
Yeah.
Because that stage right now is actually hitting battle rap where it's about the money now. Not so much the competition, not so much the hungriness, but, okay, I'll battle, but I want this amount to battle. Like, that's all they care about at this point. It's crazy right now.
Right. Well, I mean, everything goes through cycles, bro. You know, unfortunately, you have, you know, it's like for some people, 12 o'clock is better than 8 o'clock. You know, so by the time you get to the certain time and on the turntable, it's like, what does the time do for you? Like you like a guy like me, I walk through the streets and I'm like, yo, you know, young guys be like, yo, what up, OG? You know, and I'm like, okay, now I have to embrace the fact that I'm considered an OG to them. You know what I mean? I have to be willing to accept that spot, and you know, all of the things that come with that. I have to be willing to take that too. So it's interesting when you watch a lot of these guys on the rap circuit, and it's like, all right, we have evolved into these now business guys who spit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So like a lot of these guys who have been there when like a Mook, like, you know, like Murder Mook, who was battling guys on 125th Street. You know what I mean? At the State Building. Like, it's not, those battles are not happening, and if those battles are happening, they are not filming and not broadcasting. So now you have evolved, and you have levels of it where it's like, all right, how do we approach it? Do we keep it business? Do we keep it culture? Like, what's the medium for that? You know what I mean? And I think it's all kind of like it's a testing ground, man. It's good to see guys that's constantly coming out, though. You know,
well, definitely they're gonna be doing something legal to feed their family.
Yeah. And I love the fact, like you pointed out, that's a good point that you make too, because if a dude comes in the game thinking that he the dope businessman, he probably gonna get his ass ate. You know what I mean? He probably gonna get his food fed to him crazy or snatched off his plate. You know what I mean? Like a lot of dudes that come into the game, you start listening to cats, like it's something that you can do without. Then there's others that you know are clearly not playing with their craft. You know, they want you to know, like, yo, I'm gonna do this. You know, like I do this well. You know, it's a lot of guys that do with their version is it's like wow. You know. I wonder do all day long, but there's so many originals, man.
Yo, Steele, this is Tony Bro, man, co-host on Angry Fan Radio and all that, man. First of all, it's an honor and everything like that. And I just wanted to ask you, when you was coming up, when you was battling, how much does believability factor into everything? You know what I'm saying?
You said how much what?
How much is like believability factor into? How much did believability factor into everything? Like you know.
Wow. That's an interesting question. Well, I never I try my best to be honest. Like I try to it's levels of creativity, but then like how do you present it? You know, and I never try to come across as this guy that's super hardcore and untouchable, unbeatable, and things of that nature. Like I give it to you raw, and I think that sometimes where you have artists that may be super skillful in talking about some hard, slick bars, and then you may have those other ones who are just real street. You know, and then it's like you can't compare the two, because they're two individual planets. You know, so for me, it's like I try to stay in my space, man. I like, sometimes I can get super lyrical, but then I know it's guys who can fit more words within one 4-bar segment than me. Mm-hmm. I can't do that. You know what I mean? I can't rap crazy slow. Like, some things I'm good at, and then I'm like, all right, I just want to be so chiseled in what I'm able to do, and then kind of like give you like a signature of what general skill is, so to speak, or what my team is about, a boot camp or whatever. Like, we talk about certain things, not just weed and guns and tin boots and all that. Not just that, but we try to give it to you in a round where you can kind of like get a jewel from it, or so to speak, So I don't know, man. I think that's just me. That's just my personal. Mm-hmm. Like, my angle would be like, I would like, if I had to battle you, I would dish you like with intelligence, something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I can't go bar for bar with you talking about how bummy you are and dirty you are, and like that's just snapping. I never was good at that in school. You know what I mean? Like that's dudes like Sean Price and Rock. They are great at that. You know what I mean? They'll make a 5 seconds and they'll be like, yo, word. But
because I mean the images that y'all had coming out of you know what I mean, like the early days from the Shining, like those early videos, like the gritty sort of raw street feel that y'all had, you know what I mean? It really made me think about like how you would view like current battlers. A lot of battlers don't necessarily have all of that cred behind them. So it's interesting to hear you say that.
Well, see, for me, I came up in an interesting time. Like, I really, was standing on the blocks with dudes. You know what I mean? Like, not talking about busting guns and doing crime and criminal activity. Like, that's whatever in your personal day to day. But when you outside and you breaking day and you going through neighborhoods and you seeing what's like right now, it's so crazy right now. Dudes can't, like, some dudes from Brooklyn can't go to the Bronx. You know what I mean? Some dudes from Queens can't go to Manhattan. Like, it's like, yo, when me coming up, I spent a lot of time on 125th Street. You know what I mean? I was going up to Rutgers Park. You know what I mean? I was going to Boogie Woogie. I got my first gold fronts from Queens, from Gertz Mall. You know what I mean? I was in the Coliseum, so going around and seeing the neighborhood, it kind of school you on how the people move. I seen the differences with the boroughs, and then getting into the neighborhoods and getting to know different people and so on and so forth. Like, you start to utilize that in your words. Like, I became an artist, and then using my experiences and going boom, I feel like I know some stuff. You know what I mean? So I was just feeding it back. So it worked because it just become more so than it being rap, more so than me telling you anything. It's like now we are just having a conversation now at this point.
Mm.
Now it's interactive, man. I would like to think that Smif and Wesson, The Shining, The Rude Awakening, the album, like these are all interactive albums. Where you can play one of these joints and be like, yo, you can damn near think you wrote that. So you just went through that yesterday, or it's not earlier this afternoon or something like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we share experiences through our verses. So like I think like just to keep it 100, like the battle rap circuit increased. It was always there because you always had dudes like LL Cool J, you had dudes like KRS-One, you had dudes like Busy B, Cool Mo D that was getting busy then. You know what I mean? And recording it, and so we could see what it was, and they trying to make their mark. But then, like, I think for me coming up in the 90s and running around with bootcamp, like, we didn't battle as much as just have ciphers. So within those ciphers, it was less intimidating. A dude could spit a 16, or a dude could spit a 12, and you can hear where his flow is at, and he can kind of work from there. So I think that allowed us a little space to, get our guards up.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I seen Method Man freestyling that "How Can I Be Down" one day. Not freestyling, but somebody wanted to battle Method Man. I'm like, oh my gosh, like it was a cipher. So how could I be down? You got rappers from everywhere. Then you got the other rappers who can't get into the thing, so they trying to see who they can catch outside. So you had Meth. I think it was Meth and Guru, rest in peace, man. In the cipher, man. And I was trying to find my bars. I was trying to find my place. And it was just so exciting to see like this unknown cat trying to go at Meth.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, man, I think it might have been a female too, man. And
wow.
I think that Meth, you know how Meth rhyme. Meth be on skates when he be rhyming. You know what I mean? So he was saying some his flow was just killer. I couldn't even tell you what the words, but his flow, nobody was flowing like him. So he just pretty much midway down that whole, if you can call it a battle, or I say a cipher, or we can call it that cipher battle, however you want to spell it. Shorty was in tears. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Like that was it. Nobody was rhyming no more after that. And he wasn't like, yo, your mom just kissed me. He wasn't even doing none of that. He was just like slow. He was like milky with it. You know what I mean? And it was just like,
damn.
yo, you cannot, like, what I do is different. And a lot of people always try to, compare what battle rappers do to people who, they say like battle rappers can't do songs and stuff like that. Like, I don't think that's true. I think it's a different dynamics, when you're using the craft. But I knew that young lady was not in a good space when she was trying to go against Method Man. Like, that was like, nah, like, what are you doing right now?
Damn. You know what? My fault. I didn't cut you off. I was going to say, you know what? How hard is it to actually make a song? A hit song on top of that. Like, how hard is that? Because, like, when y'all came out, y'all wasn't worried about the radio, none of that shit. Y'all was just doing y'all, and y'all blew up from that, dog. The Shining blew up, Nocturnal was fire, like, everything. All the OGCs, like, y'all was literally doing it from the muscle on the ground up. So how hard is it to be itself and not turn commercial? I know it had to have been hard at some point. What I have to give credit to is my brothers, my boot camp brothers. And again, like my first album, The Shining, man, I just came off the street. Like, I'm fresh, Recep family, so everything I pretty much brought to hip hop was just from my teaching, And like we talk about brotherhood, we talk about watch the snakes, watch your back, keep this one. So I think for us it was more so just bringing the real
to the forefront, and having the opportunity and utilizing it. What was a blessing for us is like right before we put our thing out, we had our brothers worked in the mill. Like we had Black Moon on it. So as they chiseling things out, and you know they getting a little buzz, and they buzz getting bigger, then we come with something, and they add on to that. And then as we chiseling it out, then our brothers come out, Helter Skelter, you know, OGC, they come out with so it was a continuous string of things that was undeniable for people at a good time, I think, you know, which helped us. And it was 100. It was real, man. It was like, you know, it was like us going through training with Black Moon to learn how to go about the day, you know. And before tours and before all of us going out, like when we had to come back home, like, we make a little bit of bread. We come back, we stop at the weed spot. We get the bags, we get everything. Roll up, shot roll up. But Helter Skelter OGC is in the crib training. You know, so instead of us going to, you know, like right now, I might go to the after party and pop a bottle and do this and all some craziness, but then we would go back to the crib, take the weed back to the crib, drop it off there, and see what the team was doing.
Okay.
Man, so the path like get some cereal.
Get some cereal?
Yeah, you know, munchy food. You know what I mean? Like, right. That is a mad cereal thing. So we used to go to Pathmark 24 hours in Brooklyn. It used to be. And we go out there, get mad cereal, go back to the crib, and just, you know, it was crazy because it was just a vibe, you know? Like, we're vibing together. So now when you actually do put something to the pad, when you actually do, I don't know if it's hard to make a hit because some things that you write don't necessarily hit when you put it out like that. Like, they might not get it. It might be a little too this or a little not enough for that. So when you get one, like, it took us a minute. Like, Bucktown wasn't the first choice for us to put out as a single. You know? We tried Recognize. We was like, okay, we're going to see is this a good performance song? You know? It didn't come across. It didn't hit how we wanted to hit. So then we tried Let's Get It On.
What do you mean, though? Like, Recognize was fire at, though. What the
yeah, I mean, it was just like it's ill how, like, I don't know, man, Smif and Wesson, man, when we came in, man, we was really, like, under the tutelage of Black Moon. Like, we really was just in their shadows studying the rights and the wrongs of what they was doing, you know? And it's like, okay, this is how we want to be. Like, even when it came to the point where, as far as radio, they was getting hit with mad censorship issues. And dude like Buck hate doing clean versions. So, you know, we would have me and Tech would have conversations. We'd be like, all right, so we're going to avoid that. So we would just go and do the song over and change words or what have you. So we have clean versions already ready to go. We already know they're going to kill us on the name anyway. A name is already going to make them go, who, what? Violence. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel you.
So it's like, all right, just being a little strategic and saying, all right, what, you know, just having a consideration for how we're going to present it to the people. And then, you know, we came upon Bucktown. We tried that one, and that one was probably like the fourth joint. We had Nothing More But the Money was like the first joint. We wanted to make that a single, but we couldn't get it cleared. So to us, we probably thought we had the hits. You know what I mean? But it took us 4 of those to go, that's the one. You know? And then, you know, it's the process, man. It's the building process and the patience and consideration. You know,
that shit is so whack. Hey, yo, PNC, that's my shit, B. I swear to God, that's my shit. And the Recognize remix, the beat, you don't even know how many times I played that shit, bro. It's not even fucking funny, my nigga. Everything is just dope with that whole shit. Then the whole situation went down with the name. Fuck that up. Put a guard like that.
Yeah, it was a setback for us. You know, it was a setback.
That was wacky.
It was super abrupt though, because that was like, I mean, we dropped 9-5, like the end of 9-5, beginning of 9-6, they was on us. You know, it was like we trying to step it up. Like we making a little buzz. We wasn't wasn't talking crazy. So we like, okay, so let's make some things work. You know, we can put some things together. Let's renegotiate this thing and do some things, and you know, just like everything just spiraled and hit us a certain way, man. But we was down for a minute due to the contracts and all of that stuff and the name and all of that. But then you know the most important thing was to continue to create. You know, so we reinvented, came right back. Coco B.
Yo, the Cash fire, 1-on-1, stupid fire. That 1-on-1 was stupid. Yo, when y'all niggas came out with that shit, was like, oh hell no, these niggas is wilding right now. Like,
yo, you know what? Let me tell you some craziness though, right? When we did the Rude Awakening, we just came back from spending a couple of weeks with Pop, right, and Outlaws. So that's what I was saying about earlier about the experiences, right? So Pop showed us some ill shit in the studio. You know what I mean? So when we got back, we was like, yo, we got to just go hard. We was just recording. We was like, yo, we had mad joints, and we didn't even put out. Like, we had drinks that we didn't record to. We was buying beats. We was just going, you know? And like, yo, once they let us off, because for a minute we couldn't move. We couldn't do nothing. You know, in the contract, we had to clear up some things. We had to take care of that. And once they let us go, we was like, okay, let's record. Let's do something. And then, you know, we had already was starting to meet different people, and so we wanted to incorporate different music. So, you know, start reaching out to guys, Raekwon, you know what I mean? It's like we got legendary cats on that album, on that project. Man. Professor X, Bless His Soul, you know. Mika Mouse. It's one for the books, man. You know, one for the books, and it's crazy because it's like it's joints on there, but still like it's still gonna be like some people have to kind of like they gotta kind of get used to that. You know? They like the Shiner, they used to that. They like, all right, the Shiner, that's my joint. All right, the Rude Awakening, Coco Beans, it kind of threw me off. And you know, then you got the other guys, the X Factor, who may be a little younger, and they started at Coco Brothers. So imagine these guys don't even know you as Smif and Wesson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do you bring it all in for them? You know what I mean? So it's like the continuation of the story, man, and being able to continue to have a conversation and keeping people interested. You know, to give a fuck. Like, yo, nobody has to care, man. Things is moving so fast and fastly. It's like, man, I'm off to the next already. You know, y'all switching up. I ain't messing with it no more. But you know, the whole fast, man. It's it's a blessing, man.
Yeah, bro. I'm actually my bad, yo. I'm actually from upstate New York, right? And so when I was listening as a kid and whatever, like just like, okay, what's going on with this? Y'all kind of took us to Brooklyn. Y'all always seem to exude pride in where y'all was from. You know what I mean? Was there a certain amount of pressure because of what Brooklyn is and what y'all was representing?
No, I mean initially, no pressure because that's all we knew. You know, like we wasn't like welcomed into a lot of circles. So all we knew was us. Like we knew our neighborhoods and you know, being from the part of Brooklyn that we from, Brownsville, like it's like communities within the community. You know, so it's like Brownsville projects, Tilden, Van Dyke, Langston Hughes, Unity, Ceflo, Howard, like Master Aces from Howard Projects. Like that's Brownsville, right? So he's up the block. He lived up the block from us. You know what I mean? True say that he came out before us with the Juice Crew. It's like, all right, you have all of these different neighborhoods within this vast neighborhood, and it's like now, how do you even mesh with these people? We had no choice but to be around each other, you know, for the first everything. For all of our first albums, it was just us. That's why we don't have no features on our first albums. Not on Helter Skelter, not on Black Moon, it's just us. Boot camp click is on shining. That's it. Helter Skelter is just, it's just pretty much them, and then the next, the guys who was under them, Illinois, dudes like OGC, the reps. These guys.
Yo, the reps. You know what? You read my mind. The Square. Yo, listen.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even think you get that. The Square, if you knew how many times I played that shit from Nocturnal, it wasn't even fucking funny, bro. It wasn't even funny. That shit was fire, dude.
Yeah. This is the beginning, man. This is the origin. I think everybody had a certain hunger amongst us. Like, what's crazy is that within the boot camp, we each had a headquarters. Right, one of the main headquarters is the Dog Hilly. Then Helter Skelter had a headquarters, which was in Tilden Projects. They called the concentration camp, right? C camp, and then like the House of Reps. That was the representative spot. The House of Reps. That's where we had the equipment. That's where we would go and listen to records and listen to whatever instrumentals we could find and just rap. Smoke weed, drink 40s, crack jokes on niggas and all that type of shit. It's like House of Reps. It's just whatever. Like, everybody was good there, And meanwhile, that's my aunt crib. So it's not like it was like a mansion or some old fly shit. It was on the second floor in the projects. You know what I mean? So it's like you kind of got it. You got it honest. So it's like, it wasn't fabulous at all, man, but it felt good at the time. Those guys walked from the beginning. You know what I mean? Supreme Elohim. That's my physical blood cousin. You know what I mean? That's my aunt's son. Oh wow. You know what I mean? So yeah, like when I used to stay out late and I couldn't go back in the crib, I would throw rocks at his window and be like, "Yo, open the door for me, son. I'm spending the night at your crib tonight." Oh yeah.
Nigga fan 007. What up? You good? I'm alive, I'm breathing. Drop this shit. What up, nigga? Drop this shit. What up, nigga? Fucking head, man. Drop this shit.